It's another beautiful Sunday evening, day number 1 in the month of June 2025. Happy new month, folks, and welcome to Iron Port here on Metropolitan Television. Iron Port is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Regional Authority, Well PLC, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link Network Services, Meridian Port Services, MPS, and indeed Phoenix Insurance. The show is proudly powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority-GPHA. And our media partner on this journey of a lifetime is the Business and Financial Times, the BNFT. Now, if you want to have a grasp of all that transpired on the show tonight, make a date and grab the Thursday edition of the BNFT, and you'll be able to see and read all that happened here on the show tonight. Tonight, we are streaming live on our social media pages. On Facebook, we are live at Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Still on Facebook, we are live at Port of Tema. And on YouTube, we are live at Iron Port. Now, we shall be getting interactive with you as usual. So all you have to do is sit back, relax, grab your phones, and send us your messages as well as comments ahead via our dedicated WhatsApp line, which is 0538-037353. 0538-037353. And when the time is ripe, and I pick signals from the production team, we shall activate the phone lines for you to call in and contribute to the discussion. My name is Kennedy Mona. We are going for a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the show. Please stay with us.
Good energy brings you quality choices with Goil Super XP. Available in many Goil stations nationwide. It is fortified with special additives that help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Branch into a Goil station today and energize your ride with Goil Super XP, compatible with most vehicles. Goil Super XP, Wufilia, huh? Wubefeel. Goil, good energy. Yeah.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Welcome to today's edition of Serene Insurance Business News. We present to you Serena. You're right. You can complete an entire insurance process for the purchase of any motor and other insurance products, from onboarding to issuing a motor insurance sticker and policy certificate, all on WhatsApp in less than 10 minutes. Serena is simple to use and it prioritizes user ease and flexibility. You can either use voice notes or text to effortlessly issue your instant policy, cross-platform renewals, claims, and also process your payments through mobile money, Visa, and MasterCard. To engage Serena, just search for Serena Insurance on all social media handles and scan the Serena barcode or save her number 0500 517 114 and start chatting her on WhatsApp immediately. There you have it. Serena is not just a tool, it's an innovation by Serene Insurance designed to redefine how motor and travel insurance are accessed and managed. Speed, convenience, and reliability.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, We connect. You thrive.
At Phoenix Insurance, we make the unpredictable predictable and the uncertain certain with our range of products, including motor insurance, fire insurance, engineering insurance, marine insurance, accident insurances, and all types of bonds. We have you covered. We also support you with risk management advice to enable you stay focused on your business. Take a policy with Phoenix Insurance today. We help you rise from adversity stronger and more secure. Contact us on 0302 246319 or 0302 246644 or any of our branches, agencies, and brokers spread across the nation. You can as well connect with us on our WhatsApp chatbot. EFIBA is waiting to assist you. Make the future predictable with Phoenix Insurance. Phoenix Insurance, a delightful service experience delivered with wisdom.
All right, welcome back. So it's now time for us to take a look at happenings in the port and shipping industry over the last week.
The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has officially commissioned the Vessel Traffic Management Information System, VTMIS, at the Port of Tema. The Director of Port of Tema, Tebon Zuma Esquire, performed the commissioning last Friday, May 30th, 2025. The commissioning of this advanced system marks a significant milestone in the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority's drive toward modernization, safety, operational efficiency, and service excellence. In today's fast-evolving and technology-driven global maritime industry, the ability to monitor, manage, and coordinate vessel traffic in real time is indispensable. Tebon Zuma noted that with the VTMIS now fully operational, GPHA is better equipped to ensure safe navigation, enhance maritime domain awareness, and respond swiftly to emergencies and incidents at sea.
We need to have full visibility of our anchorage area and the port in general. This system will help us to monitor the anchorage in particular and to ensure that all vessels calling at the anchorage are properly accounted for by our signal station. Ghana and Tema port in particular is known to be a safer port and safer anchorage. So this one will help us to fortify that position.
The General Manager of IT at GPHA, Francis Donko, highlighted the system's key components and its role in streamlining marine operations and boosting efficiency across various departments.
The AI space station is a system that automatically identifies all the vessels that calls our port. Okay, so once the vessel calls our port, automatically that system picks them up and is able to tell you the identity of the vessel, the speed of the vessel, the position and the course of the vessel. Then we have long-range radar. It also identifies the targets in our waters. But what it does extra is that in a situation where the AI is not able to identify the target, that's where the radar picks it up.
On his part, the harbour master at the Port of Tema, Captain Bramwell Tiria, emphasized that the VTMIS will significantly reduce operational risk while fostering more sustainable, safe, and well-coordinated port activities.
It's going to improve our surveillance, our security, and then documentation. There wouldn't be any vessel escaping from the anchorage because now anchorage is now demarcated. So if any craft, whether ship or canoe, even crosses that margin, we get the alerts and then we track.
With this strategic investment, GPHA continues to reinforce Ghana's reputation as a safe, reliable, and competitive maritime hub in the West African sub-region.
The French unit of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority's Learning and Development section has held its maiden celebration of Africa Integration Day, highlighting unity, diversity, and cooperation within Africa's maritime sector. The event, held at GPHA Towers, brought together management members of the authority, an official from the French Embassy, course facilitators, and students. Students of the French school representing countries including Togo, Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, and La Côte d'Ivoire showcased rich cultural displays reflecting the history and heritage of their respective nations. In her welcome address, the manager of learning and development at GPHA, Shewa Boatin, emphasized the authority's commitment to building human capacity and fostering growth through language and professional development.
The L&D section's French unit intends to institutionalize this event to make it a yearly event. So year on, we have a celebration of the African Integration Day that highlights the importance of French tuition, specifically French for specific objective in GPHA, to enable us to engage with our stakeholders much more effectively.
Representing the Director of Port of Tema, the Human Resource Manager of the port, Joseph Coupin, described French as a vital tool for collaboration in the sub-region, commending the French unit for the initiative.
With majority of our trading partners in the sub-region being Francophone countries, take this opportunity to commend the French unit of our Learning and Development section for this great initiative. We are therefore proud of the strides we have made through our French unit, and we remain open to deepening our collaboration, especially with the French Embassy, our sister port authorities, the training institutions and exchanges, and the joint initiatives that advance the French integration agenda.
Also addressing the gathering, the French Embassy representative, Julien Lecas, praised GPHA for organizing the event and pledged the Embassy's continued support for capacity building initiatives.
We had the pleasure this morning to see some nice celebration, nice troops of culture of many countries. And I want to thank especially the Ghana Harbour and Port authorities to organize this event, and also to let me the opportunity to share from the French Embassy all what we can do together, all what we have done in the past, all what we are doing today, and all what we can do in the future.
As part of the celebration, a panel of judges assessed traditional meals presented by students at the open food bar. The students representing Togo emerged as winners of Cultural Showcase. Some of the students also shared their experience with Iron Port.
The African Integration Day, as this day is celebrated by the L&D unit of the Ghana Port and Harbours Authority, we see this occasion as a very important occasion, as it goes a long way to let us realize our Africa unity and how we are, especially with the ECOWAS region, Africa Union, how we can integrate as one people.
The Learning and Development Unit of GPHA has expressed intentions to institutionalize Africa Integration Day as an annual celebration, with a special focus on the use of French for specific professional engagements within the authority.
Right, so let's now turn our attention to some international port and shipping news.
According to Allianz Commercial's annual safety and shipping review, the global maritime industry has achieved its lowest ever total of vessel losses, with only 27 large ships lost worldwide in 2024, marking a 20% decrease from the previous year. This improvement stands in stark contrast to the 1990s, when the industry was losing more than 200 vessels annually. However, this achievement comes amid an increasingly complex operating environment characterized by geopolitical tensions, vessel detentions, sanctions, and damage of critical subsea cables. The US-China trade conflict has significantly impacted global maritime commerce, with approximately 18% of global maritime trade now subject to tariffs as of mid-April 2025, a sharp increase from 4% in early March. The Liberian-flagged container ship MSC Elsa 3 sank off the coast of Kochi, India, following a severe list that developed approximately 38 nautical miles southwest of the port. The incident began when the vessel, which departed Vihinjam port on May 23, reported a 26-degree list while en route to Kochi, Initial rescue operations by the Indian Coast Guard successfully evacuated 21 crew members, while the captain, chief engineer, and second engineer remained aboard to assist with planned salvage operations. However, in the early hours of May 25, the vessel experienced rapid flooding in one of its holds and capsized. The remaining 3 crew members were successfully rescued by Indian Navy ship Sujata. The vessel was carrying 640 containers at the time of the incident, including 13 containing hazardous cargo and 12 with calcium carbide.
All right, so those were happenings in the port and shipping industry over the last week. We are now going for the word or phrase of the day. And remember, the word or phrase of the day segment has been fashioned to bring you up to speed with the terminologies and jargons we use in the shipping industry. Today's phrase is dock receipt. Dock receipt.
Dock receipts. Receipts given for a shipment received or delivered at a pier or dock. When delivery of a foreign shipment is completed, the dock receipt is exchanged for a bill of lading with the transportation line.
And now on to the health and safety tip for the week. And this week we are talking to you about how to keep a clean and tidy workplace.
Keep a clean and tidy workplace. One easy health and safety tip for any business and a simple way to reduce the risk of incidents is to keep your workplace in good order. Indeed, slips, trips, and falls remain the #1 cause of non-fatal injuries at work, accounting for 30% of all cases. As such, the importance of good housekeeping, such as making sure to keep your environment free from clutter, shouldn't be overlooked.
All right, so we're zooming into our discussion proper tonight, and tonight we are proud to announce to you that our bosses have approved that we continue with last week's discussion, and so we're having a part 2 of reading the port of overstayed containers and also taking perspectives from stakeholders. And last week you would recall that we had in the studios Mr. David Songoto, who is logistics manager for the port of Tema. He's also here today, obliging us indeed for the part 2. Good evening, sir, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely, yes, sir. And also with us last week was Chief Revenue Officer, Madam Esther Amekuji, who is a Systems Administrator, Tema Collection Customs Division, Ghana Regional Authority. Madam, good evening and welcome once again.
Thank you. Good
and thank you
evening.
very much indeed for obliging us. And last but not the least, Nana Frederick Ajimayo Friata, President, Customs Brokers Association of Ghana. He's also the Executive Secretary of COFADA's Committee of Freight Federal Associations, Ghana. We thank you so much for obliging us, sir. Indeed, in his black, like I announced last week, he's still mourning his father. I understand the funeral is somewhere in August. And once the date is nearing, getting near, we would actually abreast viewers on it. Once again, our deepest condolences. And let me say a happy new month to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, we are glad to be ushered into this beautiful month. We know it's bringing us a lot of glad tidings and good fortune. So, by way of recapping what happened last week, I'll go straight to Mr. Songotu for you to abreast us once again. Last week, you gave us what your understanding of an overstayed container is in the port. If you can refresh or rehash so that we zoom in from there, sir.
Okay, so for the man on the street, is simple containers, manufactured containers imported into the country through the port that the owners or the consignees fail to take delivery of them for more than 60 days.
Right.
So once the containers stay for over 60 days, which is like the dry cargo in terms of vehicles, that is overstayed.
Right.
And immediately we write to customs to inform them that, look, these containers have overstayed and they occupy our space.
Right.
Like I told you last time, it's a commercial space, so you have to take it for somebody else to bring his container.
Sure.
And then when customs receive that information, the list of containers,
right,
then they will then write back and authorize the port authority to transfer these containers to UCL terminal.
Right, right. So just before I come to Madam to walk us through the process of auctioning cargo at the port. I'd want you to walk us through, like you did last week, what transpires before the goods goes on to the, step by step like you did last week, before the goods goes on to the UCL. That's the uncleared cargo list.
So first of all, the terminal managers would call for overstayed containers from their control rooms.
Right.
Every ICD,
inland container depot,
inland container depot, they have a control room.
Right.
They get the containers in, and every day they update the containers 12 days. So if the 12 days are 60 days, they communicate that to the terminal manager. The terminal manager will then take that list and forward it to the general manager. In fact, that list will give a covering note to the director of port.
Right.
The director of port will write to the commander, the sector commander,
right.
and the sector commander, whatever happens there, the same way, but we receive directly from the in charge of the state warehouse.
Right.
That take this attached list of containers to the various, and they will name the particular terminal, UCL terminal, they want us to transfer those containers.
Right.
And we'll do that accordingly. When that we are about to do that, the various UCL terminals must come with, because a copy of that letter will be given to the various UCL terminal, like Amaris terminal, like Atlas.
Yes.
Then they will come with their own trucks and the list of containers.
Right.
Those particular containers that have been authorized.
Yes.
And when they come, it is the responsibility of the terminal manager to ensure that those containers are loaded onto their trucks,
Right.
not any other third-party trucks.
Right.
When that is loaded, then customs, preventive, they must escort these containers to the various
ICDs.
terminals. Yes.
Okay.
That's
right.
how it goes.
Okay. So once the containers gets to into your custody, what happens, madam?
In terms of the auction?
Auctions, yes.
Auction process, okay. Kindly permit me to say hello to our cherished listeners.
Absolutely.
On behalf of
And
my
viewers, so to speak, in this
viewers,
case.
my Acting Commissioner General, Mr. Anthony Akwesi Sapong, and top management, my own Commissioner, Brigadier General Glover Annan, and last but not least, my sector commander, Tema Collection, Madam Teresa Potaki. So, to continue from where he left off, what happens is that the main document for auction is a sales list. We have to derive the sales list. By a series of activities goes on before we derive the sales list. First of all, because State Warehouse takes custody of these consignments, any consignment that has been seized and registered in the State Warehouse Register must be converted to seizure. Then you compile a list of all seized goods and uncleared cargo list.
Right.
The essence is that for publication in the Gazette, that is the Commercial and Industrial Bulletin.
Yes.
Next is to inspect all consignments that have not been inspected yet. The essence of doing that is that you'd have to assess the liable duties and taxes thereon to be able to determine a reserve price.
Yes.
Once that is done, then so the sales list. So let's say the sales list is compiled.
Yes.
Then you get instructions from Commissioner General because he's the one vested with authority to either auction or allocate.
Right.
Then on, we appoint auctioneers.
Yes.
Then the date for auction is also indicated, and then it is published. Normally, once the publication goes out, that is the Gazette goes out, it matures in 14 days.
Right.
Then the auction can be then undertaken.
Right.
Right.
All right. So who qualifies to be an auctioneer?
Anybody who is appointed by, I don't have the exact way, but normally we have people who are certified and they are appointed by the Commissioner General. Yes, certified.
Absolutely.
And so in that instance, you refer to them as the proper officers in charge of the auction. Yeah.
All right. Now you mentioned to auction and allocation.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
So auction is supposed to be by a public sale.
Right.
Once there's a gazette, the things are published, the dates are indicated, the location and all that.
Yes.
But allocation is where the Commissioner General, in his own determination, may allocate, that is, assign a consignment for somebody, a recipient, to pay the duties and take delivery of it. He's the one that has that power vested in him to do that. So the auction or allocation are ways by which we make sure that we dispose of this uncleared cargo, detained, seizure, and all that. Cargo that is forfeited to the state.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me come to Mr. President, and I'm afraid you are for time. Find out from you. There've been talks in town about sometimes you, the freight forwarders, advising your clients, to forget and wait for the goods to get onto the UCL so that you can turn around and buy it cheap. Is that true?
Well, thank you for the opportunity, and I'd also say my regards to all my members.
Right.
Yeah, both from all the 4 associations.
Absolutely.
I consider them ours. From the customs brokers, gave ACHAG and FAG. Because of KUFA.
Right.
Good. Once again, this topic, we are happy we have a second opportunity to have a second bite at it, because it's a very important one.
Right.
What you're saying, I want to believe it's a rumor.
Yes.
I really would not have any basis, but they say there's there's no smoke without fire.
Absolutely. Yes.
So there's something small in it. But ideally, nobody would do that, advise their clients to let the containers overstay so that they get it at almost no cost. Because in the cases of, Madam has explained to us, whether it's been auction, especially auction, allocation is a different ballgame. But auction is what is captured in their books, as we know.
Right.
But in the case of auction, government is only looking at its interest in the cargo, not the duty amount, not how much the thing was purchased, but the interest. That's the more. So that's why we pay interest charges and things. So in the case that you would wait for it to go to either UCL list, which might end up either as an auction or at allocation, there is really no, guarantees that the goods might end up coming up to you.
Yeah.
Indeed, we've heard about rumors of certain cabals, but those cabals exist everywhere. They exist at the very top, all the way to the realms of the freight forwarder. Because we know that, people do machinations, but these are not the mainstay issues. Because when the things get to auction, initially, the idea was that the importer or the shipper should be given the first right purchase. That was in the past. These days, it's no longer really the case because of what you have said, some of the rumors, that people would deliberately wait for their stuff to get to UCL, get to auction, and then they pick it at almost no cost.
Yes.
Because then government's interest in it is what you pay for, but not the original duty that was paid. That was determined through valuation or stuff like that. So it's no longer the case that the importer is given the first right, because then people would deliberately let their things go through that channel, and they don't pay. All that happens to it is that it stays a bit longer at the port, but they get it almost like a gift. So I'm not sure people would really want to do that. Customs keeps changing the processes, the SOPs, and those are based on the feedback they pick from the ground. Intelligence they pick on the ground. Because people were using that route to get their stuff out. In fact, it was the case even for transit people. So because they found out they have changed the regime, there's no guarantee that you, the importer, will get it again. But indeed, there's a group.
There was a word they used for it. Is this first call or something?
First offer.
First offer, yes.
Offer. You are giving the first offer,
yes,
yeah,
sure.
of course, the importer. But there are cabals, like I've used the word loosely, in the port that are not even the importers, but they are in the port. They have people in the cabal. Being cabal means they have somebody at every stage of the process,
right,
who is watching on to say that, okay, these goods are almost nearing UCL. Then they start monitoring them.
Yeah.
And then they do all kinds of things, but that's not what we should lend credence to it. That discussion should be had behind closed doors so that the authorities will be able to really, tighten the
nuisance, yeah.
Yes, get the nuisance out of the system. That's what I'd want to say, because
you have practiced for quite some time now, for so many years, and you are an experienced freight forwarder. Have you ever had an occasion where your clients, goods or cargo, went into the UCL, and how did you go about it?
Well, personally, no, because we've done this well, like rightly said, for a while. I've been here since '99. But the truth of the matter is that I've seen so many cases. Some of them we have to intervene, because last week, like we were saying, sometimes you are in the process of clearing and then you realize it's gone on to UCL list.
Right.
And these are genuine people who want to they struggled a bit, but they want to pay for the cargo. And there are all the issues that arise with that, because you have to apply and then you go and get restoration from headquarters, customs headquarters,
Yes.
to be able to come and continue the process. That takes roughly between a week and 2 weeks, sometimes even more.
Yes.
And these only inure to the benefit of the shipping lines. Because then they are happy because demurrage is accruing.
Yeah.
And demurrage ranges from it's quoted in dollars. Even though because of the dollar disease, let me not digress, some of them are saying that no, they want you to pay, it's a local charge. Pay in cedis.
Right.
Because we all know what is happening in the last couple of months. But really and truly, what there is that there are too many things happening at the port. But those discussions, like I've said, it shouldn't be on a platform like this, because then those who are the perpetrators are always a step ahead of the law enforcers.
Okay.
So once they know, we all know, and we've shared it, they will find
a different way.
Yes, other ways and means. But really, I haven't had a client going onto UCL. But it's not a pleasant thing to happen to you when your goods go on UCL, because the frustrations alone. We have shared several videos of people queuing at headquarters forever. Those who are willing to actually pay because their goods have ended up on the UCL, that's on cleared cargo list, and are willing to pay. But the processes, the bureaucracy that they have to go through to finally get their stuff back, restored for them to actually pay, it is not encouraging. It's as though deliberately, I don't know, there's an unseen hand looking at it to come. Because, listen, it's an area that has seen so much transformation. And we are hoping that at the end of this conversation, government will put its foot down and then make sure this process is digitized. Because there are people, at the seat of government, Jubilee, or call it Flagstaff House, whatever you do, for all the various regimes that we've had, it's not party related, whether it's NDC, MPP, or whichever it is. That are also, they're looking out for these things, because at the end of the day, they make a lot of free money from it. It's almost like part of the spoils of the war, by winning elections. Because when it's allocated to you, almost like nothing.
Right.
So they make sure these things get onto UCL. It was happening under MPP, it's happening under previous NDC. It might continue to happen, I'm not sure. But unless government puts its foot down, because they wait for the thing to go on the UCL, and then quickly, gazetted and all of those things, somebody receives a check. That says, well, it's been allocated to you. That's more often the case. But ideally, the law says it should go to auction. Yes, where at least government's interest can be secured.
So once it is automated or digitalized, there will be no human interference.
Yes, no interference.
And
the discretion...
the state is sure to recoup or recover
exactly, at least the state's interest
in
the cargo that was bought.
Right.
Because otherwise, by the time you go and get the restoration done for you, and you paid, people are holding, especially I had cases in my office of transit cargo. They have paid. They have paid their bond at SIC for all of it. And the goods have been given to somebody else. And you find out the container has been evacuated. And you ask yourself, why are we doing this to ourselves?
Right. Right, okay.
But the bureaucracy is the
Yes,
biggest.
Mr. Songo, do you want to?
Yes, I think we need to handle these things
very carefully,
more seriously,
yes,
and put it into perspective.
Yeah.
I want to come this way. Look, Muna, everybody wants to be smart in the industry.
Yes.
Everybody wants to play smart in the
Yes.
industry. Why this serious UCL, sadly UCL, for the
Yes.
past few years?
Yes.
Now, the supplier gives you a container. He tells you that, look, pay 30%.
Yes.
When the goods arrive and you are able to pay the rest of the 70%, I will give you a bill of lading, original
Right.
bill of lading.
Right.
Okay? Now the goods come. You want to outsmart the supplier.
Yes.
You intentionally wait, allow these goods to go to UCL,
Yes.
and say Ghana government has seized the goods.
Yes.
That's through customs.
Yes. So you want to outwit your
You want
supplier
to
so that you
outwit
don't
your
pay.
suppliers.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is one aspect of my good friends at the other side that I am not happy with. Now, when we even come to the other side, to my stakeholders, close cousins, whether we like it or not, we'll be there forever.
Absolutely,
Because the industry is for us.
Like 5 and 6, yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's like 5 and 6.
She would say we are all a part of
GH Incorporated.
GH
Exactly.
Incorporated.
Yes, that's true.
Absolutely, yes.
I have a problem with the auction and allocation.
Right.
I have a serious problem. You are either auctioning. The books that I know is about auction.
Yes.
But now, every cargo is being allocated. And sometimes, when the document even comes, you cannot be sure whether
it is
that
authentic.
comes from customs or not. When I was at Transit Terminal, I had it very tough. Sometimes I have to revert to customs and say,
Yes.
look, are you sure this is coming from the commissioner?
Yeah.
Sometimes it is no.
Right.
Sometimes it is yes.
So if you fail to do your due diligence,
Yes.
I mean, they would outwit you.
Of course. So I am praying that, look, as a country, sometimes it's very embarrassing. It's embarrassment to the port authority, it's embarrassment to the industry. The unfortunate thing is anything that happens in the port is a port authority, especially when it has to do with the transit cargo.
Yeah.
Is the contract they have is with the port.
Yes.
They don't know customs.
Yeah.
They don't know the shipping lines.
That's true.
But anything that happens, then they say the port. And it is the port that will be losing the customers. And that is why the latter part of 2023, a lot of our customers diverted to Lomé, diverted to Cotonou, diverted to Dakar, diverted to Abidjan.
Wow.
And we must all stand up because this transit trade is a big thing for us. And I always say that, look, the transit trade is not a favor. We are not doing them a favor. It's business we are running.
Yeah.
And it is, as a matter of fact, our responsibility to extend the ports of Ghana to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. And when they come, we have to maintain them by facilitating every move they make.
Yes.
So that clearing will be quicker and the turnaround time of their cargo will be smarter.
Right.
Because look at the distance I always give. Why would somebody come from Mali, about 2,000 kilometers
away,
Tema, instead of just 600 kilometers to Port of Dakar?
Yeah.
Why would somebody leave 700 or 900 kilometers to Cotonou
And come to
and come
2,000,
2,900 kilometers
Yes.
to Tema? That means we have what it takes, the expertise, the security.
Yeah.
So that if at the end of the day we have to allocate or auction their containers or their material or their goods, we have to really think twice. Because look, I appreciate the gazetting, but the gazette is in what language?
Yeah.
Who does it go to? The gazetting is only limited to Ghanaians.
Right.
These importers are in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. So how do they get access to information that your intention is to seize my container, and then you are going to auction it or allocate it to somebody else? This aspect, as Ghanaians, we must sit up so that we can avoid this kind of embarrassment that we had some few years back.
Okay, so he mentioned last week, he mentioned the issue of cabal. Today he mentioned it again. I just want to find out, my substantive question to you was how this particular trend of overstayed containers is impacting or affecting efficiency in the port and even, regional trade. But I want you to have a bite at this issue of a cabal. Is this something that really happens in the ports?
I don't know. I don't know about the cabal. Of course, it's, they are in the industry.
Yes.
I mean, when I say they are in the industry, they are in their side,
Yes.
and they may understand that.
Yeah.
But whether or not, it's always this intentionally to steal. And that is why I say that customs and the port authority, we must collaborate.
Yeah.
We must wash our hands together so that we get clean hands.
Yeah.
So we make sure that this so-called cabal is stopped.
Absolutely.
We are the only people who can stop it.
Yeah.
We can stop it. Nobody else.
Yeah.
Now, talking about the UCL containers being
the impact of effect on efficiency.
It's very, very, it's a big problem. Because as I speak, everywhere in the port is full. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Right from the Western Gate, right from the Central Gate, right from the Clinker Gate.
Yeah.
Any small space I get, I put containers there.
Right.
OOGs.
Even today, yesterday, Saturday,
yes,
we have moved OOGs to Tema shipyard.
Wow.
As of this evening, we're having about close to 27 OOGs.
Wow.
And we are still moving. Now, we've been able to have control over our
When you say OOD, what's that?
Out of gauge.
Okay.
Yes. See, this is not a normal, these excavators.
Yes,
they are bigger than the way they set up.
Sure.
They cannot sit in and close
sure.
that
That's
container,
true.
so
that,
it is out of gauge.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So that aspect of it is causing us no space. And when there's no space, it is congestion. And where there's congestion, there's cost.
Yes.
Let's even start from the ship side. Vessels would probably be delayed. And when you delay the vessels, that's a lot of money.
Sure.
Especially container vessels.
Yes.
Container vessels are not supposed to spend over 72 hours in your port.
Yes.
Because many of them are chartered vessels.
Right.
And if you do that, then there's cost, a lot of cost. The propellers are running, the crew is being paid, the crew is feeding, and all that. Now today, look, I drove through the wharf before I came here. The place is full because every bed, there is a vessel at every bed. And that is why I say that it's a good thing for us, but we need to be smart and appealing to everybody to come and take their cargo.
Yeah, sure.
Because if you don't do that, it means you are stopping somebody from working.
Yeah.
When I do my work, her work starts. When she finishes her work, his work also starts.
Yes.
So if you fail to cause me to help me do my work, at least I always say that even if you don't want to do your own work, just because of me, who is ready to do his work, kindly do your work. And now we have to bring in more equipment. That is another cost. We have to get more labor because when there is no more, the labor is dwindling because of the overwhelming boxes that are coming into the country. We will have a lot of problems. So we are getting more labor. We are getting more equipment.
Yes.
Even as of yesterday, last week, Tuesday, we received 2 restackers.
Okay.
Hiring.
Right.
And then we've also received 2 16 tonners.
Right.
And the 16 tonners are normally used at the ship side
Right.
and the transit terminal.
Right.
Sometimes we use it also at the GJT.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we are on it.
And we know that some 15 more trucks are coming.
And 15 more trucks are coming
this month.
This month. On the 15th, we will be receiving 16 more trucks.
Yes.
And we are looking at this week to also rent some low beds.
Right.
Low beds are the ones that take the OOGs.
Right.
Because many of our low beds are really down.
Right.
We'll be revamping at the same time renting more so that we could be able to evacuate. As I speak now, we are having zero balance. Zero balance simply means that we are now waiting for 1 day boxes to pick from MPS.
MPS, yeah.
Gone are the days that people 30 days, 40 days, 70 days, the boxes are still sitting there.
Yeah.
As I speak, the boxes they are discharging today, we are picking them.
Wow. Wow. So that fits into what DG said when we received the first 15 trucks, that the plan is to wait at MPS for the boxes, not the boxes waiting for the trucks.
Correct.
Right.
And that is what we are doing today.
Absolutely.
That's what we are doing today. We we have a problem of space for the OOGs.
Right.
But fortunately, yesterday, the director himself was able to discover my shipyard. He called me.
Right.
He called me, where are you? I said, look, I've gotten the place for you.
Right.
And immediately we move in.
Wow.
And we are moving the containers to Tema. The OOGs to Tema. So we want to assure our customers, please do your best to come and take delivery of your cargo. Because we cannot continue bringing containers when your containers are
still in the port.
It is not right. So I will invite my good friend to talk to his friends.
The freight forwarders.
The freight forwarders, the importers, to be able to come in and then take their
containers. And
Let me just add a simple thing.
Right.
Yesterday, I had issues with your transit guys because where we were putting the half-loaded truck park, we had no choice than to take over that place to bring in containers. Why? Because it is better we bring the containers out of MPS than leaving them at MPS, and they will accrue a lot of demurrages.
Right.
Because our shipping lines do not consider the customers when it comes to demurrages.
Right.
So it is better we do that and then allow them to go back to the transit truck park to park. There it is even in cities. Anything parked inside the port is charged in dollars.
In dollars, yeah.
So we would apologize to them in the first place and then encourage them to do as much as possible, pick their containers so that we can have more space to bring in more cargo.
Great. Okay. Also, yes, you wanted to add something before I come to Madam.
With the issue of the OOGs and the majority of the out of gauge is the excavators.
Right.
And we all know there's a slight challenge with excavators because of the policy issues and the procedures that have been aligned. Transport Minister has to sign before it goes. So we'll use this medium to plead that they should find a way to streamline that process.
So that it can be expedited.
So that they can leave, because, those are more of them are corporates. It's not the issue of funding or finance, but the bureaucracy associated with the clearing. We all know excavators are the backbone of the Galamsey.
That's true.
So government, in its attempt to try and streamline that process, has brought in additional bureaucracy. Yes, and Transport Minister, among all the several things he has to do, includes signing off for this, OOGs to leave the port. So we'll plead that they should find a way to do it, because every space has been taken, really and truly. So I'm happy, logistics boss is saying that
they're in charge, so he definitely would have to cry out for help.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me come to Madam. I saw you noting down several things. If you want to make any clarifications, please.
When he was talking, at least he said something good, which was that the auction process has seen a lot of transformation. And as we are speaking now, a team has been put together to review the auction unit and the state warehouse operations, such that we'll continue to exceed the expectations of our clients. He says something like he doesn't know whether there's a deliberate attempt to, as it were, when they ask for extension. Currently, the system we have is that if it's less than 30 days, you do an online application and it is work done. I've had people pass some through me, and it's like you check, sometimes it's even been done, they have not even looked at it. When it's beyond 30 days, that is where you do the application. But as I said, as you're saying, my bosses are listening. So we are still working at improving the operations. All right. You know, restoration is 14 days. So once it's restored, you have to clear the cargo in 14 days. Then this Kaba issue, as Bernard reminded us, we are all employees of GH Incorporated.
Bernard is the politician.
Sorry,
Bernard
you are a
is
politician.
No, he's Kennedy.
I'm
Kennedy,
yes.
sorry. So what I would say is that for some of these things, like he said, behind closed doors, let's collaborate and know what it is and make sure that we clean the system. Because unless the information is giving out, some of these things will be rumors and things like that. I hope we are all aiming at making sure that whatever we do as employees of GH Incorporated, that company, we are all staff. Make sure that we do the right thing. Now, you spoke about the fact that when goods are auctioned, government interest. But when I was outlining the process for auction, I said that there's a determination of a reserve price. That is the price at which the goods must be auctioned.
Which is
and includes duty payments, state warehouse rent for the period that the goods have been there, portrayed as in what we say labor cost and all that. So those are things that are considered. However, probably at the time the item came, whatever was assessed might not be the same price that will be given out as auction, because they consider a lot of things. Assets, where is the, what do you call it, whether it has deteriorated over time, especially when you take vehicles. You see it, I mean, nicely packed, but probably if you had to look at engine and internal issues, realize that. So all those things affect the price at which. So it's not like, oh, the thing was brought in at 20 cedis, and when they were auctioning, they auctioned it at 5. But as he has said, I mean, we know there's a lot. I mean, when it comes to auction, we all know that, I mean, it is a big issue. So we are making sure that all these things will be streamlined. We improve our operations and all that. And I'm sure at the right time, you will all be brought on board to help with the process. But one thing I also want us to see, when a logistic manager was speaking, in terms of the transit cargo, you know, the Customs Act is a public document. We are a creation of law. Whatever we do is outlined in the laws, that so that law has a section that is telling you that if your goods are in transit and you don't clear them within 2 months after they have been discharged, it is deemed to have been entered into home consumption. And so those will then automatically go on the uncleared cargo list. So probably, like he's saying, we have to intensify public education, sensitization and all that for our clients to know all this, because that will help decongest the post. Aside these ones, Customs has a lot of initiatives. The AEO program, the post-clearance audit, pre-arrival BOE processing, all those things are aimed at making sure that you clear your cargo on time. We even have the release prior to BOE processing, where you just submit your invoice, you make a deposit, and you take the cargo. The only thing is that once you take delivery of the cargo, you have to perfect that transaction in 14 days. Otherwise, the system will block you. So there are a whole lot of initiatives that have been put in place to ensure that people clear their things in time.
Okay, so we'll go for a break, but when we come back, I would want to find out from you whether it is possible or feasible, you as systems administrator, to be able to automate or digitalize this auction process, so that from start to finish, we don't have any human interference, so that we'll do away largely with the element of, corruption, so to speak, in quotes. I'm not saying that's what, but in quotes. So when we come back, I would get you to do that. But this is how important here on Metro TV. Tonight we are continuing with the last week's topic, which is how to rate the port of overstayed containers. And we're taking perspectives from the Customs Division, Ghana Regional Authority. We're taking perspectives from the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and indeed the Customs Brokers Association of Ghana, QBAG. We're going for a quick break. When we return, we'll continue the discussion and we'll take your calls as well. And, go into the inbox and share your messages and comments with the rest of our viewers. Please stay with us.
Good energy brings you quality choices with Goil Super XP. Available in many Goil stations nationwide. It is fortified with special additives that help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Branch into a Goil station today and energize your ride with Goil Super XP, compatible with most vehicles. Goil Super XP will feel ya, huh? Will be feel. Goil, good energy. Yeah, yeah.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is, you still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Welcome to today's edition of Serene Insurance Business News. We present to you Serena. You're right. You can complete an entire insurance process for the purchase of any motor and other insurance products, from onboarding to issuing a motor insurance sticker and policy certificate, all on WhatsApp in less than 10 minutes. Serena is simple to use and it prioritizes user ease and flexibility. You can either use voice notes or text to effortlessly issue your instant policy, cross-platform renewals, claims, and also process your payments through mobile money, Visa, and MasterCard. To engage Serena, just search for Serena Insurance on all social media handles and scan the Serena barcode or save her number 0500 517 114 and start chatting her on WhatsApp immediately. There you have it. Serena is not just a tool, it's an innovation by Serene Insurance designed to redefine how motor and travel insurance are accessed and managed. Speed, convenience, and reliability.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
At Phoenix Insurance, we make the unpredictable predictable and the uncertain certain with our range of products, including motor insurance, fire insurance, engineering insurance, marine insurance, accident insurances, and all types of bonds. We have you covered. We also support you with risk management advice to enable you stay focused on your business. Take a policy with Phoenix Insurance today. We help you rise from adversity stronger and more secure. Contact us on 0302 246319 or 0302 0246644 or any of our branches, agencies, and brokers spread across the nation. You can as well connect with us on our WhatsApp chatbot. FIBA is waiting to assist you. Make the future predictable with Phoenix Insurance. Phoenix Insurance, a delightful service experience delivered with wisdom.
All right, so welcome back. This is Ion Port here on Metro TV, and tonight we are having a part 2 of how to read the ports of overstayed containers and taking perspectives from the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. We have Mr. David Songutu, who is the Logistics Manager, Port of Tema. From the Customs Division, Ghana Regional Authority, we have Chief Revenue Officer Esther Mekuji, who is the Systems Administrator at the Tema collection of the GRA, and indeed Nana Fredu Ajimai Ofreata, who is the President of the Customs Brokers Association of Ghana, QBAG. These are the stakeholders we are taking perspectives from in our quest to find solutions to the overstayed containers that we have in the port of Tema. I've been told by the production team that we can activate the phone lines for you to call in. The number to dial is 0245834980. 0245834980. The number is right here on your screen. You can call and contribute to the discussion. Your messages are also coming in thick and fast. We shall be sharing them also with the rest of the world pretty shortly. Do be our guest. Let me come straight to Madam. I said I was going to come to you so that you tell us, what it is that we need to do in terms of our quest to, as it were, sanitize the system. And if you can walk us through what it is that we can do to bring about some automation or digitalization of the auction process so that we can have an end-to-end from start to finish. We don't need human interference so that we can eliminate all these challenges that we have and so that people will not be disgruntled that their goods have been taken and given to the wrong people or it enters the wrong hands, allocated to people that, do not even have any, connection to them.
I think a proper solution has to do with identifying what the causes are, which we have enumerated. Last Sunday we did this Sunday. So it is not a customs prerogative alone.
Yes.
All stakeholders will have to make sure that they come on board and then we solve the issue. But the second part, you were saying that what? The main question?
The main question is, like, if we can digitalize and automate.
Yeah. So the auction process has been automated. It was automated in 2023.
Okay.
And then piloted.
Okay.
But since that time, it has not been used.
Okay. Why?
But I'm sure, in 2023, it was automated. The whole auction process has been automated, where you go and register with your Ghana card, and like you register on any other portal or website,
right.
And then it tells you the kind of bidding processes, open and then close.
Okay.
Open, everybody sees, close. And then when you win, you get a notification. It gives you a time when you're supposed to pay and all that.
Right.
This was piloted in 2023. But since that time, we have not actually used it. But as I said, it's part of what is being considered by the management, the team put together to review the auction and allocation process. So very soon you hear of us.
Okay.
But it's been automated.
Right.
Yeah, it has been.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Being used.
Sorry? We piloted, as I said, we piloted it, but post the piloting, we've not done much about it. Sometimes it doesn't take just us. So it's one of the issues that is being looked at by the review team. And so very soon, you hear of us.
Okay, awesome.
Right.
That's good. And there was this issue, this Bible quotation from Nana Ofreata.
Brokers' Bible.
Yes.
Restored but given.
Yes.
Would you have struggled to get restored, your goods restored from the uncleared cargo list, and you are about paying, or you haven't gone to pay, and then you realize that the cargo has been given out. What happens when it's the one same organization,
right.
Customs Division of GRA, the same Customs Division restored it for you after all the struggles you went through at headquarters? which we are praying that some of these processes we should actually be brought back to Tema.
Right.
But even when you go through all of that and get it restored, and you have paid, and somebody has been given a check to pick up the thing. So that's what we call restored but given.
But given.
How does it happen? The same customs organization with all the automation and piloting she's talked about, it's still happening.
The automation and piloting has to do with the auction process. That one is not being fully operational, so that is. But this is your quotation, very interesting. Restored,
but given.
But given.
Yes.
I would say that it would only be due to the case of coordination, between Tema and then the auction unit. So as I said, all these things are being looked at. I have a niece, anytime you wake her up for school and she wants to sleep, then she will take small time. So Nana, small time, all these things will be ironed out. And then we know with proper coordination and then effective collaboration with GPHA.
But then finish it with, so what happens?
So what happens?
You have paid for your own thing and it's given out. The man has taken delivery of the goods.
So normally
you have paid duty.
What we get is that people apply for a refund because you didn't get to take delivery of the cargo.
Right. Okay, so let's go on to the lines and welcome Bright, who's calling in from Tema. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Awesome. Please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. My contribution to first the concern about the auctions.
Yes.
The Ghana Revenue Authority is not being fair to Ghanaians.
Why do you say that?
Yes, concerning the auction. Formally, auction is being open for the public. Everybody can go and do the bidding over there. But now, here's the case. If anyone wants to auction now, or they want to give auction car out or container out to somebody, the previous years you have to go to the State House, office of the president, then you will get a cheat. Then you will come to the port, then they will locate the exactly car or the container they have been given to you. So it's not being fair. There is no neutrality in that. It's only the big wins that have been getting the goods being auctioned. My second point is somebody will bring a vehicle that is supposed to pay 50,000 or 60,000 to clear.
Right.
And the importer wasn't able to clear that particular goods. And that, could you believe that ferry car will be given to somebody even less than 20,000 cedis? It's not being fair.
Right. Right.
So the custom division, if they want to do auction, they should bring the auction to the public domain openly. Previously, that's how they have been doing auction. I've been attending auction sales since 80s.
Right.
But today, auctions is not like that.
Right. Thank you very much, Bright. We are deeply grateful to you, sir, for your call. I think this one goes to customs. Madam, if you'd want to...
Yeah, well noted, Bright, in terms of neutrality and all that. But earlier on, I said that when the commodity or the item comes in and when it's going to be auctioned, in terms of if it's a vehicle, maybe you look at depreciation, they look at the condition and all that. But having said that, I think whatever you are asserting is being taken note of, and my big men are listening. So going forward, I hope we'll all be happy if things are reviewed and then we see more transformation in the auction. Transparency in the auction process.
Right. Yes, sir.
What I want to advise customs is, please let us revisit the first offer. There used to be this first offer.
Yes.
And you see, like we discussed here, sometimes it's not by any, sometimes it's financial.
Yeah.
So if you are taking my cargo that I was going to pay duty of about 150,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
And now you are giving to somebody to pay 50,000 or 30,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you give it back to me?
Yeah. So you take the 100,000. Yeah.
And you know, they used to do it within 2 weeks. If you are unable, within 14 days, if you are unable to respond to the first offer,
yes.
Now clearly it means that they can do anything with that particular. So I would advise that let's revisit seriously the first offer system.
In fact, we have not done away with that. And it's one of the reasons why you get a double payment. Because once the owner knows and they apply and is restored to them, then they go and pay and take their goods. The first offer is still being practiced. But what may have happened is that probably it was allocated to somebody before it's now given to the rightful owner. There have been instances where we have that. So the first offer, is still in place, yes.
Okay. All right, let's go to...
Unless they don't know about it.
Let's go to Amma Saman and speak to Obed, who is calling into the program. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, I heard from one of the officials. Yeah, I heard from one of the officials saying that the system is not automated. The system is not automated. And if the system is not automated by this time, it is done so. Yeah. So I'm automating the system. So if the system is not automated, definitely it means that there is a lot of corruption being over there. That should be looked at because it is being automated.
With your line, okay.
About the fact that I said the system
is not automated.
Is automated,
right?
But he is saying it's not automated. What I said was that it is automated, and it was piloted. That was 2 years ago.
2023.
Auction.icams.gov.gh.
Okay.
But with the review that is going on very soon, it will be regularized.
Right.
So they should just be patient with us.
Great. Okay. All right. Yes. Nana.
Yes. Quick one. I mean, this whole conversation is about how to rid the port of containers.
Oh, yes.
Right. And we have talked about how the process of UCL restoration and the rest of them are fraught with a few challenges.
Yes.
And how we are all proposing that it should be looked at. I mean, aside the automation of the auctioning process, UCL restoration, we are advocating for it to become digitalized.
Yes.
And that will save us a lot of trouble, especially with this restored but given issues that are arising.
Yes.
More importantly, but there are three major things that we are proposing that government should take a look at to be able to rid the port of all of these
Okay,
things.
so before you come with the three main propositions that you have, let's welcome Romeo from Tema. I don't know whether it's a Romeo that we all know. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, please, shoot.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. My name is Romeo Frimpong. First of all, I want to greet my bosses who are seated on your platform this evening.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so my question or my input first goes to Mr. Songotu.
Yes.
Last week, I think he assured us of the fact that the terminal is ready.
Yes.
And that all the UCL's container go in there.
Yes.
When we go there today or anytime the place is ready, we can go and clear our cargo, right? Now that is what he has said. Of course, we're going to, try our best and go and check that. Number two, he made mention of the fact that the port is getting congested.
Yes.
All right. And Mr. Fredia also talked about the fact that these OOGs and excavators has really flooded the port and it is really getting the port congested. If we are not careful, not too much days ahead of us, it is going to have a very great impact negatively in terms of clearance at the port.
Yes.
What is he doing or how is he collaborating with the transport minister to facilitate the issuance of the permit or otherwise moving the cargo from the port? Because the port is not a warehouse.
Right.
We need to get cargo moving from the port. We don't want to an extent whereby because of this influx of the excavators, other cargoes that needs to be cleared or positioned for clearance people will be affected, and that will translate into cost, which we all know. So how is he collaborating as the logistics manager? Because when the port get congested, especially with the ICDs, we'll come back to cost and time of clearance at the port.
Right.
That is my question to him. Now to Madam Esther, madam. With regards to, she mentioned about the 30 days, which is being given, the 30 days window given to, cargo entered and then cargo examined when they go on UCL. I want to know, when the cargo goes on UCL, the state warehouse becomes like a prison, okay? And by all means, there should be a bill, okay, which is the 30 days window that is being given to the cargo. Now, we pay an amount for the state warehouse rent, which actually gives us the warrants to take the cargo out of the port. Currently, after that payment, we put in an application for approval. That is within the 30 days. When it is within 30 days, the cargo is restored. Okay? It is user-defined. Since she's the systems manager, I want to suggest if that bit of it can be automated, the 30 days, so that when we make payment, automatically the approval or the cargo will be approved. Instead of we waiting for someone to approve the cargo after we have applied for restoration.
Right. Okay. Right. Thank you very much indeed, Romeo. Your points are well taken. I'm sure we'll get responses quickly from each one of them.
Okay.
Maybe starting with Madam, who was the last.
Yeah, so Romeo, thank you for calling in. It's well noted, so we'll consider it. Earlier on, I need to clarify the first offer and then the auction.
Right.
First offer is given when your cargo is on UCL.
Right.
And then when it's the publication and it's publicized.
Yes.
And then you, the owner, applies for restoration.
Right.
So first offer is for duty payment.
Right.
But if you don't do any of those things and you wait till the cargo gets to auction, then we don't talk about first offer again.
Okay.
Permission to clarify that. Thank you.
That's fine. Sure.
Okay. Thank you, Romeo, for your beautiful question. What are we doing as management? And that is why quickly, management, we have come out to say that let's move to Pong, Kumajiro Unity Terminal.
Yes.
It's a very large area. The only problem we face is the traffic. Fortunately, the Director General has helped us with the military.
Yes.
So every 9 p.m., we move the containers, the UCL containers especially, to Pong.
Right.
But tonight, as I sit here, as soon as I get down, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
We were trying to regularize our evacuation from MPS.
Right.
Okay, so that those who are ready to clear their containers, they don't wait to let these containers go into demurrage.
Right.
Now that is under control. As we speak, we'll put all our 15 trucks.
Yes.
And then some few reliable third-party trucks to assist us convey the containers to
for Unity.
Now, another thing is, and this is a campaign, the marketing department and the terminal managers are having consultative and meetings with their customers so that they would let them appreciate the cost involved to allow your containers to go to a certain dwelling days.
Absolutely.
So that one too is going on.
Right.
And we are buying more equipment to ensure that we are able to evacuate. We're going to run 24-hour economy.
Absolutely.
And when that starts, the 24-hour economy, when that starts, that would do a lot of good for the Port Authority. Absolutely. And I think there's a committee, the Director General and the Director of Port put in place, and pretty soon that committee will come out and how to run a 24-hour economy. And that will really bring everything under control.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, let's take our last caller, who's Nana Philip, calling us from Tema. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sorry for holding you on the phone for this while. We are deeply sorry. Is that Nana Philip Achak?
Yes, please.
Oh, Nana Unkwaso. Yes, sir.
So,
please go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Ken, I would like to echo my voice on the broker's concern with the quote that restored but given.
Right.
it is very unfortunate from the customs division to be giving us this information. I have a letter which I will be pursuing it with the custom division tomorrow.
Mm.
You see, without all the cumbersome process of restoring your cargo, you got to the point that they have given you a penalty to pay. You pay, and just at the time for them to restore, they tell you that the cargo has been auctioned.
Mm.
Like Madam rightly said, auction has been online. They piloted it in 2023, which we are aware.
Yes.
But it is unfortunate at this age of technology, customs cannot update their system for them to know that this cargo has been auctioned or gazetted, allocated, or whichsoever words they would like to use to call it. But they will ask you to go and pay a penalty for installation. You pay the penalty just on the same day. Within 30 minutes, you go to their office and they tell you that the cargo has been auctioned. They cannot restore it for you. I mean, it's a very disservice to the nation, and they have to take their time and do this allocation and uncleared cargo list properly. So that
Thank you, Nana. Thank you very much indeed. I think your point is very well made. Maybe we'll come to Madam for just a brief, because we have barely 3 minutes to wrap up. So
The 3 major points that will help us.
yes. So you go ahead.
Well noted. Well noted, Nana. We'll get better. Sorry for any inconvenience caused.
Yes. So your 3 propositions, just straightforward.
Yes, just straightforward.
Yes.
I mean, the first one will be, like I've said when we're out of this.
Yes.
Government should, by way of policy, all government agencies that use the port, who import into the country, like ECG, Kolebu, all of those things, vaccines getting stuck there in several hundreds of containers, ECG, thousands of containers. Those
have you heard that the containers have been found?
Yes, we've heard of it,
All right,
yes.
good.
I mean, but they are still in the port, congesting the port.
Yeah.
So a policy direction would be to bring them all under the AEO regime of a sort.
Right.
That's the Authorized Economic Operators of a sort. So that immediately their containers get to the port, they are taken straight to their various warehouses.
Right.
And of course, those that containers need to return back to the shipping lines, then demurrage is saved on them.
Right.
Because this is our tax money that is being used to pay for all these unnecessary demurrages that are cool. That's one. 2, we're also looking at decentralization of this whole UCL regime.
Okay.
That there are at least some initial ones from the start. They should pilot like they've done pilot. The initial ones, like initial handling of UCL, the 2160 days, it should be done by the sector commander.
Right.
I mean, declaration of duty paid status. It should be handled by the sector commander. It doesn't need to go all the way to, I mean, this bureaucratic headquarters business. So that decentralization is very key. We've also talked about the digitalization. That will be the final bit. But more importantly, we're also saying that this bureaucracy that Philip also and Romeo talked about, they should find a way to also maybe digitalize this permit processing. If they can be, it can be brought onto the ICAMs.
Right.
Then Minister of Transport will be freed from all this, I mean, trouble that we are giving them.
Great. Okay.
This will clear the port of half
Great.
of the containers straight away.
Thank you very much indeed. This one, this is a message from one of our viewers. It says, good evening, Iron Port. I am seeking clarification on the auction timeline for transit cargo with a paid customs bond where the client is in discussion with the shipping line to waive demurrage charges. Could you please advise on when the auction process usually occurs in such a case? We'll go to Madam's office and then get this response for you from this texter. You didn't add your name. Our own Ohima also sent in this one. She says, good evening, I import. My take home from the program today is that the unwarranted delays with container transfers have been resolved. Hallelujah. Now, my charge to GPHA is that it should never happen again, because GPHA has always been in a position, resource-wise, that is finance and personnel, to have averted the situation. GPHA should also take steps to refund to the many who have officially requested and legitimately deserve refunds. My regards to your esteemed panelists. Thank you very much, Ohima, for your message. Unfortunately, we still have some messages, but we can't take them all. We'll get them onto the abridged version. So all you have to do is watch GTV Wednesday 8:30, and then you get the responses from there. I see you are eager to say something, but our time is up. Our time is up.
Because you see, people think that once the container doesn't come, it is the fault of GPHA.
Yeah.
Don't forget, GPHA or don't load.
Yes.
We go in to be loaded.
Right.
So if you go in and you are not loaded on time, you cannot get out.
Right.
And there are so many complicated issues in terms of systems breakdown and the boom breaking down for so many days, so many hours. And 30 minutes in maritime operations is a lot of money. It's a lot of time spent.
Absolutely.
So it's not always conclusive to say that GPHA should do ABC.
Right. Mr. David Songotu is the logistics manager, Port of Tema, GPHA, and we have Chief Revenue Officer Esther Mekuji, Systems Administrator, Tema Collection Customs Division, Ghana Regional Authority. Thank you very much indeed, madam. And indeed, Nana Fredu Ajimayo-Foriata, who is the President, Customs Brokers Association of Ghana, and also Executive Secretary of COFA. Yes, we thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for obliging us once again for the part 2 of this discussion tonight. We are deeply grateful to you, our viewers, for watching. We thank our, sponsors, Ghana Revenue Authority, Well PLC, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link Network Services, Meridian Port Services, and indeed Phoenix Insurance. Remember, the show is powered by Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. We entreat you to make a date and watch the abridged version of our report on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Ghana Television. My name is Kennedy Mona. We thank you so much. We entreat you to keep watching the rest of our programs here. And God willing, next week we shall bounce back with another wonderful edition of your favorite Iron Port. Thank you so much for choosing us, and have a super week ahead.